Hello, everyone out there. This is episode 19. This is episode 19. Wow, of Grief Talks with Noel. Thank you so much for checking out tonight's episode, and I hope that you will be inspired or touched or something, motivated, uplifted by what I have to discuss tonight, and hopefully you'll feel just a little bit better. I often say, or I've alluded to before, this process is so grueling, it's so ugly, and it doesn't ever get easier because easy is the opposite of hard, and it's always going to be difficult. It's always going to be hard. But hopefully, things like this, knowing that you have support, knowing that you have someone in me who knows what you're going through, who feels your pain every single day. Hopefully that makes things a little bit better. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in tonight and checking out what I'm going to discuss. This experience, when I began it back in, when was it? It feels like so long ago. Oh, 5 months ago. Wasn't that long, but it feels like it's been a long time. When I began this YouTube channel back in 2019, December 2019, I wasn't sure how long I was going to do this. I didn't think that it would necessarily be something that I do forever. I know it's not going to be something I'm going to do forever, but I had not really gauged exactly how long things were going to go on because I knew I had a slew of episodes and a slew of topics that I wanted to discuss, but I didn't really know exactly time-wise how long that was going to take. We are nearing the end of what I feel like I was called to do in this particular component of my life. So this is not the last episode in this series, but this channel is going to remain present forever. I don't plan on ever taking this down, and I plan on these videos being available to people for decades to come. 20 years from now, if you feel like you need some support, you can click on it and watch a 20-year younger version of myself trying to walk us all through this process. So this is not the final episode, but I think maybe I might stop around 25. I'm not sure, but I do feel myself moving forward in a couple different ways in life, and that calls for me to kind of change my trajectory and never changing my intention. I will always carry the brokenhearted with me and always have a special love for us. I will always do that, but I'm going to be doing different things still involving grief support, but I don't want to, you can't stretch things out for too long, and it's been a wonderful ride, and I've been enjoying working with you, but this is definitely heavy work. Wednesdays are really hard for me, but I've enjoyed the fact that I've been able to help some of you out there, and really good things have come from this channel. So I'm honored to have been doing this. So this is episode 19. My guess is that we'll go up to maybe 25. I'm not fully sure, but then we'll move on to other things. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful to those of you. I have, I think, 107 subscribers now. Oh! Thank you to those of you who watch every single week. I know everybody doesn't watch every single week, but those of you who actually do watch every single week and you actually are trying to do the work. You're watching for the purpose of trying to actually do internal work and actually, get through this process. You're not just watching to look at me. You're watching to actually do the work. I appreciate those of you who are actually engaging in the process that I'm trying to guide us all in right now. So thank you. I love you guys. And let's go into tonight's episode. Envy is the title of tonight's episode. I decided to get a little fancy tonight, I guess, because I knew I was going to be talking about something controversial. So I got my pearls on to look a little fancy. All that I'm missing is I'm just missing a fan and a big hat or something like that. So tonight's episode is called Envy. And it can be kind of controversial when it comes to grief. I'm not going to lie, truth be told, I envy people who still have their fathers with them. I envy people whose fathers are still here on this earth. I really do. And I don't think that's wrong. It's not wrong for me to feel that way. And let me explain why. Because there's a difference between envy and jealousy. I'll explain that in a minute. So my dad, I always allude to him. I always make reference to him. In some of his sermons sometimes, and his teachings and things of that nature, he would talk about something he called the 3 stages of possessive desire. The 3 stages of possessive desire. So possessive desire is something that you want, right? So he said the first stage of possessive desire is envy. The second stage is covetousness. And the final stage of possessive desire is jealousy. And here's how he broke down those three stages so that all of us could really understand. He was such a gifted instructor and preacher and teacher and speaker. So he made things easy for people to really get. So here's how he broke it down, okay? So there's going to be a lot of metaphors going on in this episode, so hopefully you'll stay with me. Envy. Envy means, I really like the hat that you're wearing. You can keep that one. I like that hat, but you can keep that one. I wish I had one like it. Covetousness means, I really like that hat you're wearing, and I want to have it. I don't want you to have it. Jealousy means, I really like that hat you're wearing. In fact, that's my hat, and I'm going to perceive ownership of your hat. So jealousy, I perceive ownership. That hat is actually mine. Covetousness, I want that hat, and I don't want you to have it. Envy, I like that hat, and I wish I had one like it. You can keep that one, but I wish I had one like it. I envy, let me say it again, people who have their fathers still on this earth. And depending on what loved one you lost, you probably feel a strong sense of envy as well. I don't want, I'm not going to perceive ownership over your father. That's jealousy. I'm not saying that I don't want you to have your father. I want to have your father instead. That's covetousness. That's not true. That's not what I feel. I feel a strong sense of envy. I like that hat and I wish that I had one like it. But truth be told, the hat that I had cannot be compared to anybody else's hat. So even though I feel a strong sense of envy when I see people, like the third Sunday in June is coming up, and I'm already starting to get a little anxious about it, but I've already been through one, so I kind of know what to expect, but I'm still dreading it. And so I know to stay off of social media that day, because that it's going to just be flooded with pictures of people and their dads, whether they really like them in real life or not. People are going to take that opportunity to really just post all the pictures and my dad this, my dad that. They can treat him like garbage in real life. But on social media, everybody gets to be whoever they want to be. So when I see things like that, I envy that. I wish I could still do that. I wish my dad was still here. I feel rage when I see people post things like that, and I know good and well they're not honoring their fathers. Pause. If you have your parents here with you right now, your mother, your father, whoever, mother figures in your lives, father figures in your lives, and you're not honoring them, you're not doing everything that you can to make their lives better, to make their lives more comfortable, you're not taking care of them, and they took care of you, they took good care of you, you should be ashamed of yourself. You really should. Time is fleeting. It really is. And I would hate for you to, God forbid, go through an experience where you lose that parent and then you try to make things right, or you are just perpetually ridden with guilt. You're in the bargaining phase forever because you didn't give them your all. You didn't treat them the way they should have been treated while they were on this earth. So that's I'm coming off my soapbox as far as that's concerned now. But love your parents. If you still have them here, do everything you can. If they're good to you, be good to them. Even if they're not good to you, try to be as good as you can to them. That's the Bible. And I happen to believe the Bible. If you honor your mom and dad, your days are going to be long. Okay, that was just a side note. But yes, I envy those who have their fathers here, and on the third Sunday in June, I'm going to be a mess, and I'm not going to want to look at social media because it's going to be replete with people just posting over and over again, my dad this, my dad that, and I envy that. I want that. I want him here, and I don't hide that. I wish he was here, especially as I wish he was here for a lot of things that are going on in my life and a lot of things that are going to happen. So I envy those who still have their fathers here. I do. But if I look at my father's definition of envy, I like that hat. I wish I had one like it. That's not even true, because the hat that I had, the father that I had couldn't even be compared to any other father in this world. And that's how you should feel. If you genuinely loved your loved one for real, if you genuinely were crazy about them and adored them, if you poured all your love out on them while they were here on this earth, then you know what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying. Envy is not even really accurate. Yes, I feel it. I mean, in the classic sense, yes, but I don't really want your hat. I just wish I still had mine. Because my hat can't be compared to any other hat in this world. My father was the greatest man like to ever walk this earth, and that is how I feel from the depths of my soul. And because of that, no other hat can compare to him. So whereas I see people, with their connections and stuff and their fathers, but I know they ain't my father. And that's how I want you to feel. I want you to look at it, look at your loved one, your fallen loved one, with such pride in your heart. Like, there was nobody like my dad. There's nobody like your mom or your sister or whoever you're watching this for, whoever you lost. Feel that sense of pride. So maybe envy's not accurate after all. I guess a little bit. I like your hat, yeah, but I don't want one like it because I had the greatest ever. And that brings up another point. When you lose someone so great in your life, it makes it very, very difficult to try to fill that void. There's a big, gaping, huge, monstrous hole in your life. There is a void, an endless abyss, if you will, in your emotions when you have a huge loss. And so sometimes people are like, you can fill that void. And I believe God is just. He's just enough to give you somehow, some way, put somebody in your life who will in some way not fill the void, but kind of stand in the gap. And I know I have people in my life like that. I won't talk to them. That's me. That's not them. It's not because they don't reach for me. They do reach for me. They try to talk to me. They call me. I don't answer because I'm not ready to go there yet. I'm not ready to try to even turn to anybody else for any type of patriarchal. For what? Not yet. I'll get there maybe someday, but I'm not there now. But if you're out there and you're listening, maybe you are at the point where you're longing for, that kind of connection. You want someone to, kind of step in. It won't be your hat, but maybe it's a bonnet. Not exactly what you had, but kind of fills the same purpose. Sometimes you'll encounter people in life who will give you a pat on the back or who will hug you or call you son, call you daughter. It might even be for a short amount of time. But it feels good, especially if you're missing that in your life. Maybe you run into people that knew you when you were in high school and they come into your life again. But God has a way, I believe, of filling the void in some way. If you're open to it. I am not open to that yet. I'll be the first to admit it. But when I'm ready, I know that God's put those people in place. I know he has, but I'm just not there yet. Not yet. So again, envy is not necessarily a bad thing. And especially if you look at it through the eyes of, I like your hat, but my hat was the greatest hat ever. My dad, your loved ones, were the greatest ever. Thank you so much for watching tonight, and that's all I got for tonight. So I'm off next week, so don't look for me next week because I won't be here. I'm off next week. I'll be back the following Wednesday, June 3rd, and please feel free to go back. There are, not counting this one, 18 other episodes that I've done to support all of us, and I hope that you'll check them out. So, but in the meantime, between now and June 3rd, even if we're not talking in this way, let's keep talking. That didn't make much sense. But anyway, I have to close the episode with let's keep talking. So let me just say it. Let's keep talking. Okay, bye.